Thank you, Deputy Secretary McKeon, for being here this morning and for your willingness to respond to our questions. I know you have offered to sit down with me on the Havana syndrome attacks, also known as anomalous health incidents, but I would be remiss if I didn't raise some of my concerns today at this hearing, because I continue to be disappointed by the State Department's response, even though I've heard from both you and Secretary Blinken that you are committed to ensuring that people who have been affected get the medical care they need. But what I'm still hearing from victims is that that is not happening always. And so there's clearly a disconnect between what's happening at the top levels of the State Department and how people are being treated in some cases. So let me ask you a couple of questions. First of all, Ambassador Spratlin, who was designated at the department to be the point person on this, left in September. I think it's been about 40 days since she's been gone, and the secretary said that he was committed to ensuring that someone would replace her. So do you have any sense of when that is going to happen? And is there a protocol that is provided to all of our embassy personnel, all of our ambassadors, for how to treat reports of these kinds of attacks and get people medical care?
Yeah, thank you, Senator. On Ambassador Spratlin, she performed great service, and we were sorry to see her go. I expect the Secretary to make an announcement about a replacement in the next day or two. In terms of protocols, so when an officer at post reports an incident, they are instructed to either report it to the medical unit or the diplomatic security, the regional security office. And both of those offices have a standard protocol. The RSO has a questionnaire that the officer fills out, and then that's reported back to Washington. And then the medical officer, whether it's a doctor or a nurse, has what it's called a triage tool, and similarly, it's a medical assessment of various things, but they're all being asked the same question, so we can try to have consistency in the data. And then if their symptoms are serious enough, some officers are medevaced. And back here in Washington, we've recently organized a contract with Johns Hopkins University Medical System to get people into care quickly if they need it there. I know there's been interest in getting folks in Walter Reed, but that's not typically a fast process, and the Hopkins contract allows us to get people more immediate care.
And I've had the opportunity to question a number of the ambassadorial nominees about this issue and whether they had been briefed by the State Department, and I don't think there was anybody who said they had actually been briefed.
Oh, well, that surprised me, Senator. We have this course called the Ambassadorial Seminar for nominees for positions, whether they've been confirmed or not, out at the Foreign Service Institute. I spoke to the class in August, as did Ambassador Spratlin. I spoke about a lot of issues, but I touched on this issue. And there's a class going on right now. I'm speaking to them next week about this issue. So whoever told you that skipped the class that day, which would not be surprising because they don't go to the class every day.
Okay, well, this was 2 weeks ago, and so I'm glad to hear that there is an ongoing. And is there a written protocol that people are provided? You mentioned the questions that.
So there have been several guidance cables to posts around the world, both classified and unclassified, about what to do, how to report, emphasizing that there's no stigma for those who wish to report. Both the Diplomatic Security Service and the Medical Bureau have done their own messages to their individual workforces. I think Dr. Padgett, the head of the Medical Bureau, did a town hall on this issue within the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of communication, both to the workforce at large, but also the units who have to deal with these issues directly.
Thank you. As we're talking about Afghanistan and going forward, obviously what's happening to women and girls there is a critical concern for, I think, probably all Americans. The Secretary has said that he expected to appoint someone to coordinate a strategy around how to respond on Afghan women and girls. That person has not yet been appointed. Do you expect that to happen soon? And can you tell us who that is so that we can work with whoever is appointed to address concerns that we're hearing both from Afghans, but also thinking about how we can be helpful in the United States?
I know that's still the Secretary's intention. I confess I've lost the thread on where we are on selecting a person, so when I come see you next week to talk about AHI, I'll have a better answer.
Good, thank you. Hopefully you'll have the name of a person
Even better.
to share with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.